is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Dragon Ball Super. Okay, gonna quickly just dive straight into it. Zamasu. This man, the immortal god. I did not expect to see that type of revelation in this episode. When I saw the title from last week, and I was looking at the preview for this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, I didn't think it would be that literal. The immortal god Zamasu. I didn't think it would be that literal. I thought he was going to be a god or something, but not that. So, apparently, from my understanding, the way this episode is kind of hinting at, is that Zamasu, he is immortal. Now, not in the level of immortal with Boo or Cell, but this man is legit Garlic Jr. status. Like, this man is immortal. He can't die. That is what this episode is trying to imply, because at the end of the episode, it shows us that Zamasu is gaining interest in the Super Dragon Balls, and he's probably going to try to collect them all, do a wish, and then he's probably going to wish for immortality or something very evil, maybe to get rid of all the humans or something, but I'm willing to bet it has something to do with immortality, judging by what happened in this episode. So this opens up a whole new can of worms, because this means that this is the first time, besides Garlic Jr., and we have to remember, Zamasu doesn't have something like the Dead Zone or whatever, so we can throw that off the table. So Zamasu is pretty much the first actual canon enemy right now in Dragon Ball Super and all that in Dragon Ball that has immortality and cannot die. Oh shit. So this is a very interesting plot, because I mean, we're always used to enemies kind of being hard to kill. I mean, look at, you know, Cell and then Boo. And then now we have an enemy that is legit immortal. Immortal. That means this person, regardless if you're more powerful than this person, you can't kill this said person. So, how do you defeat someone that literally cannot die? Besides stealing them away. That's the only way I can think of. So Zamasu is a pretty damn powerful opponent, or at the very least, a very interesting opponent, because this person is now immortal and cannot die. A very dangerous combination, especially when there's no other god in the verse to challenge him at that time, which makes him just a monster. He literally is a god in that verse. Maybe he doesn't actually have the god status, but he might as well be, since he's immortal, he's strong, nobody can stand up to him, nobody can kill him. It pretty much means that he literally is god of that verse. So talking about it, let's talk about Zamasu now. So this man, he straight up was fighting Goku in this episode, towards the beginning. Goku and Goku Black were fighting, and then Zamasu came and started fighting as well. And when Zamasu started fighting Goku, our regular Goku, Zamasu's improved. He's improved to a point to where he was able to put up a fight against Super Saiyan Blue Goku. He was able to, at the very least, block this man and be able to kind of hold him off. Maybe not beat him, but able to block and hold him off. And then you had it to where Trunks shifted over and had to hold off Zamasu while Goku fought Goku Black. So let's talk about this power level here, this power level situation. Now, as I said, I'm not saying that Zamasu was more powerful than Goku in Super Saiyan Blue. I'm not. But at the very least, after the fight, it seems like Zamasu most likely studied Goku's fighting techniques, because we do know now that there is recordings on the fights of Goku, especially when he's already gotten his God Ki, because we saw it on the television when Zamasu's master, his mentor, was actually watching Goku's previous fight with Hit. So there's a possibility that Zamasu studied Goku's moves, knows how he's going to react, and that's kind of why he was able to fight Goku like that, even though he's kind of underpowered. He used a strategy and some tactics. But talking about Trunks fighting him, though, that was the most interesting part about the entire fight, I think, of this entire episode. Trunks' entire fight. Trunks was able to fight Zamasu, and actually put up a very good fight. He put up a very good fight against this man. Even though Trunks kind of lost in the end, he put up a very good fight. And I mean, he even stabbed Zamasu, made it to where his immortality had to pop up when we found out about it. And then also he even used Final Flash, which, oh my god, I cannot believe Trunks has Final Flash. To see how he used Final Flash, that is badass as fuck. That is really badass to see how Trunks used Final Flash. I was just so shocked when I saw it. Like, I saw the hand movements, I'm like, that's freaking Vegeta's move. That's Vegeta's stance when he uses Final Flash. I remember, because I've watched that Vegeta scene so many times when he, you know, used it for the first time against Cell. I watched it over and over on repeat, because it's just such a badass scene. And just to see Trunks do that stance, I'm like, that's Vegeta's. And then he straight up uses Final Flash. I'm like, bro, this man knows Final Flash now. Like, he knows how to use it. It was just so badass just to see Trunks do that. Even though it wasn't effective, I'm just glad to see how he has that move now. It makes me very happy. It makes me so happy to see how he has Final Flash. So getting into the Goku Black stuff. So Goku Black, as we know, is now confirmed not to be Zamasu. It is not the same person. Now, the main question is what is Goku Black? I mean, obviously he might be using Goku's body in some way, either through a fusion or something else. Maybe he just took Goku's body and then started using it. Someone's soul or something is implanted. I have no idea. I'm just throwing out random things. So we don't know at this time exactly what is Goku Black. But this man, at the very least, is very strong, and he's a kindred spirit when it comes to Zamasu. Zamasu says that he's very similar to me. We're not exactly completely allies, but we have similar interest. So the way this was done was letting us know that these two met, and then they formed this like alliance, this little alliance to work together before they could take down all the human species in the entire universe. So the main question is, what is Goku Black? What is his real objective besides Zamasu? Because Zamasu, now we know his objective, we know what he's trying to do, but what is Goku Black trying to do? What is this man trying to accomplish? That's an entirely new ball game right there. Now, another thing, too, to talk about is definitely getting to see how Vegeta, even though he was down and got stabbed, he was able to save Trunks. He actually shot out the blast that Goku Black and Zamasu were using, and he saved Goku and Trunks at that time. Even though he was about to die, he still managed to save them with the last bit of energy he had, which that's the next thing I want to dive into. So, as I've already said, I'm a little bit salty as fuck to see how Vegeta was kind of KO'd. He was the appetizer for the fight. It made me very fucking salty. I just gotta be honest here. I was pretty damn salty. But I'm glad at the very least Vegeta was the one that saved Goku and them. He's literally the one that stopped them from dying, and he saved them, and he kind of sacrificed himself in a way. It looked like, you know, pretty much Vegeta laid down his life to save Goku and Trunks before, you know, he would die. So that's a very honorable thing to see Vegeta do in this episode. That was something we normally wouldn't see in, like, you know, the Cell Saga Vegeta, even Boo Saga Vegeta. That would have been very hard to see. So just to see how this man has matured to this point to where he would do something like that makes me very happy. Now, speaking of Yajirobe in this episode, he saves Trunks and he saves Goku, gets them out of there, and he had to leave, you know, Vegeta behind because he couldn't carry anyone else, but still, Yajirobe saved the day, and I'm once again very happy to see how these characters that haven't been given the spotlight for a very long time are actually doing something and helping out. Like, for instance, seeing Yajirobe coming and saving the day for Goku and also Trunks made me happy to see how he had a very big importance in the role of this arc, and then also seeing Mai as well. I mean, seeing the humans and Mai working together to save Vegeta, that was another good spotlight of this episode, and I feel like many are not going to appreciate that, because one of the big things about, you know, Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super is that when it came to power levels and strength of characters, many of the weaker characters, let's say like Tien or even Piccolo, a lot of these characters got kind of pushed to the side because they can no longer keep up with the Saiyans like Vegeta and Goku. They just couldn't keep up anymore, so they didn't have any real role in the story, or at the very least when it came to fights or anything in the story. And to see how Yajirobe, one of the weakest characters in the entirety of Dragon Ball, was able to actually help out made me happy. But then seeing regular humans and then Mai saving the day and saving Vegeta, that is a very good moment. I feel is going to be completely underappreciated when it comes to this episode. I want to see more of that. I want to see more things like that, where these other characters, like these side characters to characters that don't have much spotlight anymore, actually get the spotlight and are able to do something, or at the very least able to hold off someone. Just to see how they were able to do something like that made me very happy with this episode, and I definitely want to see more of that. I want to see more of these characters like Yajirobe having a spotlight. Now, obviously, Yajirobe won't be able to fight a god. That's just common sense. I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying I'm asking for the characters to have more importance in the story. And that's kind of what Dragon Ball Super's kind of been doing. It's kind of been integrating a bunch of characters from the original Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, throwing them into Dragon Ball Super, and having them have a little bit more of a role besides just Goku all the time. That makes me happy. So that's it when it comes to Dragon Ball Super. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.